Now, but you were determined that you had made the right decision. What made you think you made the right decision if things were not going as planned?
I was not worried about what was happening at that particular time. My focus was on the future. I knew I was looking at the bigger picture. I knew it was tough at that time, but I also understood that it will never be tough for the rest of my life. I knew, it was an opportunity for me to achieve great things that will help myself.
But what made you know? You're saying you knew. What is it that made you know that things are going to be okay?
Okay, obviously in this company, it was quite a big company, very established, and there are some people that had gone through the same route that I was pursuing, and they were doing very well. So I always looked up to them and felt, if they can do it, so I can also do it. I can even do it better. So that was the source of motivation. And I must say, the leadership in that company, they were there for me. I would sit down with them now and again. They would help me with my plans, and I then achieved what I achieved.
Now, this is the job that kept you for how long? How long did you do this job?
I stayed with this company until 2006. In October, that's when I then resigned, and that came with its own challenge. I was doing very well in that company, and I had opened other 11 offices underneath me, and I was making commission out of all those offices. So I was earning, enough, more than enough, I must say. But I then felt, I needed more. I needed more, not more in terms of money, but more in terms of my inner satisfaction. Yes, I will get money, but I was always feeling there is a gap. I'm not really satisfied. There's something bigger, for me out there. So when I resigned, I had signed a contract with them, a restraint of trade contract. And in that contract, they told me I'm not supposed to work for a company that will compete with them directly or indirectly. I'm not supposed to open a business that will compete with them somehow. So I then started my own company, doing something different. Obviously, I was not marketing short-term insurance products. I was now marketing my motivational material. But I was using the same business model. I was using the method.
Before we get into the motivational speaking, I want us to get a few things there. You're quoted as saying that direct selling can be a harrowing and dispiriting occupation. Why?
When it comes to direct sales, you are working with people. You are working with people's attitudes. When you meet people, they are in different moods. You go talk to someone soon after they fought with their wife. Obviously, they'll take it out on you. There's no way they'll ever smile and sign up with you. So, and you going on, you're trying to reach your goal. You're trying to also survive. So, but the thing is, if you have a great attitude and you know what you want, and you don't allow your sales to affect your attitude, but you allow your attitude to control the sales, then you keep on going to the next person, the next person, and the next person until you definitely reach your goal.
All right. Just there, before we go back to Ms. Laxton to let us know what's happening with the Commonwealth Games in South Africa, we're talking to a man now who is a professional, came to South Africa. He has made it in South Africa, in this country that people say no way of growing, there are no jobs, but this man is making it. So we're tracing a path of a person who comes to South Africa and makes it in this land where you and I seem not to be able to make it. So if you have any questions for him, feel free to call us on 0891 104 207, 0891 104 207. I'm hoping that young South Africans out there who are listening, and whoever who is not making it, will listen to this man and see the determination in this man's path to where he is right now. It's 30 minutes after 8 rather. Ms. Laxton?
Well, good evening, and day 10 at the Commonwealth Games.
The Talk Shop.
You're listening to The Talk Shop with me, Naye Lupondwana, here on SNFM, South Africa's news and information leader. And we are in conversation with our guest for this evening. His name is Godfrey Madanhire. He's the founder of Dream World Promotions, and he's our guest for tonight, and is sharing his life story to where he is right now, where he comes from, and where he is right now. Godfrey, thank you very much for staying with us.
Thank you very much, Naye.
I want you to hold that line there, Godfrey. We have a caller for you, Kathy, in Johannesburg. Good evening, Kathy.
Hi, good evening. I've been listening, fascinated. It's like listening to a fairy story, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and I wish you well, and maybe one day we'll hear you're sort of the CEO, is that what they call it, chief executive or something, or some large company, and I think it's absolutely fabulous. All strength to your bow.
All right, thank you very much.
Bye.
Appreciate your call, Kathy. Now, Godfrey, I want us to go back just at this juncture. When you came to South Africa, what did you see as far as South Africans are concerned? Did you see a people that were afraid of you because you're a foreigner? Or did you see a people that was a hard-working nation? What was your first impression of South Africans when you arrived in South Africa?
When I go to South Africa, I must say I met very friendly people. And that's probably the reason why I decided to stay. If they were hostile, I think I should have, gone back home. Because like I said to you, I had my job there. So it was just about me looking for something big, for another challenge. So they were very friendly. They were very welcoming. They were teaching me the language. And they would take me to different places. They taught me how to do this business. So I think they were very reasonable. But now it was up to me. First thing I thought, okay, this South Africa is different from Zimbabwe in so many ways. So first thing for me will be to adapt to South Africa. And until I got to a certain point, then one day felt, okay, now let me be unreasonable and let me adapt South Africa to me. And that is probably best explained by George Bernard Shaw when he says the reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. So when I then became unreasonable and I started adapting South Africa to me, I started making things happen.
Wow, interesting way of putting it. Now, I asked this question about how your impression of South Africans, because you find that some people who make it in South Africa have opinions about South Africans which are not exactly flattering. And you find that some are saying South Africans are lazy people, they want people to hand things to them. Did you find that also? Or do you disagree with those people who say those things?
All right. I heard all those stories. I hear those stories every day. But here's the thing, Naye. I work with South Africans. Right now, I'm employing 400 to 500 South Africans, and they are hardworking in my eyes, But just like you would get, some lazy people in Zimbabwe or any other country for that matter, you have some people that are not prepared to make things work. I understand, the life in South Africa is far better than many other African states. If I can compare life in Zimbabwe and life in South Africa, they're miles apart. You get grants if you are disabled, which is a very good thing, and that's being responsible as a government. You get a grant if you've got a child and you need to look after the child. You get a grant if you are old. You don't get all these things in Zimbabwe. If you are old and you never worked, then your family will have to look after you. The government will never do anything for you. They build houses for you. I know people are still waiting for houses, but I think the government is really trying. In Zimbabwe, you never get a house for free. If you want a house, then you've got to buy it. It's as simple as that. So I think South Africa is a great country.
Wow. All right. South Africans, for those of you who are wondering, you can go on the web. You can find him on dreamworldpromotions.coza. Dreamworld. Is that your face we're seeing there on the website there?
Yeah, that's my face.
All right. All right. Dreamworldpromotions.co.za. Dreamworldpromotions, one word, .co.za, and you'll see what he does and who he is and more about that. You said you employ 400 to 500 people.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, because we have offices in Pretoria, Joburg, Bloemfontein, and here in Cape Town.
All right. We'll talk more about that later on.